So we're going on a little adventure today. I got a lead on an old engine that I'm looking for, and I'm out here in the woods in the middle of nowhere looking for said engine, and came across these old foundations. Now what I'm looking for is part of this, I'm assuming. This is a compressor station for natural gas. It looks like a water trough there, a couple big foundations here where I'd say the compressor and the engine were at, and then some supporting structures over here. And this has been torn down for quite some time, so obviously what I'm looking for is not here, but I'm going to say it's probably in the surrounding area. I don't know if I mentioned, but it's a 12-horse Patton Brothers engine I'm looking for, and it pumped water from a valley, which I'm going to say the valley's over there. I haven't made it down there yet, but I'm going to guess, probably educated guess would be that it's down there. But I couldn't help doing a little bit of exploring on these foundations here and seeing what all I missed out on before this got tore down. So yeah, some neat stuff here in the middle of nowhere. But I'm going to keep looking for what I want. Well, I think we're getting closer. There's a big dam right there, and then if you can see it right there, there's a building. So I'm going to assume it's probably where we need to head. This hill's a little steep, so try not to fall. The story I got is this engine that I'm looking for pumped water up to that compressor station for the cooling of the gas and the engine. So I won't say we're on the right path. Right there's the dam. They dammed this little valley up, apparently. Pretty big dam. Probably would have had, well, right there's probably the overflow. So it had some water in it to suck from. Well, let's get up to the building and see if there's the engine we're looking for inside of it. Cool old building. Have to work that into the deal. Well, looky there. Heck yeah. That is it. Too bad that tree impaled the roof. Well, this thing looks fairly complete. That's probably not a good sign, though. I guess it ain't that bad. Got a nice picture window here on the end of the building. I'm going to assume that was a wall at some point. But yeah, I think this is going to have to get moved to the old Cast Iron Curiosities Showgrounds, also known as the woods behind the house. So this is a 12-horse 2-cycle Patton Brothers engine, and what kind of makes this thing unique is this pump on the side of it. This company had to make this base special for this whole rig to have this boss here on the side to mount the pump, and have an extended rear to be able to hook this. Well, that should be a big gear, not a flat belt. But to hook that up there, and it looks like a connecting rod's missing here. There'd be a connecting rod from there to there, and to pump that, or to get that to pump water or oil, whatever you could run through that pump. This one in particular was to pump water up to that cooling tank. But there's some good bones here, that's for sure. This is definitely a savable project. Let's see if what other goodies we can find in here, since there's the head. That is, what is that? Oh, that's the hand wheel for the clutch. Like I said, this would have been a big gear. I bet you. Yeah, the little gear's still in there. The drive gear's still in there. So I've just slid a collar across that. So that's good. Hopefully that shaft's not bent. But there's the head, hand wheel, some other covers. Head's off the pump. I'm going to assume that's probably the pump head. Sucks that connecting. Well, both connecting rods are missing. Oh well. I can find that one. The other one I don't know about. Oil can here. Just a pipe. Nothing special there. Looks like there's a belt here, probably the belt that was on there. What we got here? SO extra motor oil. Yeah. Spare piston rings. Wonder how long them have been hanging there. Well, this is a pretty neat find. Gonna have to talk to the owner. I think this is on the landowner's property. I don't think anybody has this lease anymore. So talk to the landowner and see if I can work out a deal. So this isn't my first rodeo when it comes to moving buildings. Actually, a couple of first videos I did on my channel here when I started out was moving a pump house like this to the property. So I got a little bit of experience, and I got my handy dandy notebook here so I can take my notes before I tear all this thing down. I'm going to get an idea how the tin was put on, and I'll start with the last sheet that was put on the roof. Be the first sheet to come off, and I'll number all the sheets in the notebook. I'll have like a drawing of how this whole building lays out. I'll number or do a drawing of how the rafters are and take measurements of these here, because I'll probably end up replacing them. They'll just, I'm sure, be rotten, because if how loose this tin is any sign as the shape of the roof. Also, you got a big hole coming through it. Is that any shape of how the roof is, I'll definitely end up, I'll keep the rafters, but these cross pieces here I'll end up replacing. And then once I get the roof off, I should be able to knock these ends out, and then we'll be able to go to, well, the remaining 3 walls. And then once all that's taken down, I'll get the excavator out here. Hopefully just be able to pull this thing out, and I don't know if I'll be able to track it up the hill, but we'll give her a shot. Yeah, probably have to drag it up. Might get interesting. I don't know. Alright, so I got some of my notes here to get started. There's 10 sheets on each side of this roof, so I got starting at that end, being number 1, going 1 through 10, ending at the door end, and then number 11 will start there and go all the way to 20. And then there's 2 ridge pieces. One of them's knocked off, laying down over the bank, and then the other one's just hanging on by a nail or 2. So that's what 21 and 22 those numbers are. Then I got the rafters. There's 7 of them, including the 2 ends. So I got them labeled, and then that way I can, when I take the rafters down, I'll label them. That way they go back up in the same spots when I go re-erect this thing. So that'll get me started. I will get the tin off of this thing and then start taking measurements on these boards, so I can have new cut before I put this thing back up. Well, there definitely isn't much holding this tin on, at least on this side, as you can tell. A couple nails. I get this one off, then I can get up on top and just walk across and take the rest of the sheets off. This first one's always been the hardest, and I could really stand to use a little bit larger ladder, but we're gonna make do with what we got here. Yahtzee. And I guess I'll climb up there and get the rest. So, Chase, how'd you fall off the roof? Well, there I got one side off, and I thought I was doing time lapse with the GoPro, but apparently I don't know how to operate that thing, and it didn't hit record. But I got all my sheets off. Didn't take very long. Got them all numbered, if you can see that, but up there at the top, number 10, 9, 8, 7, you can count, so it goes down to 1. So that side's off. I'm gonna start on this next side, and then probably call it a day for today, because it's about 3 o'clock and it's gonna start getting dark here pretty quick. So I can at least get that other side off, hopefully. I have to get the chainsaw and cut that tree up, but yeah, progress. So like I think I mentioned earlier, this is part of a old compressor station from, I don't know, probably back in the 30s. And I spent yesterday just kind of cleaning up my roof tin and things like that. As you saw, I just walked by and was trying to look for a place to track the excavator down to get down to the building down there. But there's the foundations right there for the compressor station. So pretty close proximity. And while I was walking around, I did find some old foundations here. Look like maybe a tank, a small tank or something may have been sitting on. There's another one over there. And then this building that has the engine in it, which the engine is a 12-horse Patton Brothers, if I didn't say it already, with a water pump or a transfer pump on the side of it, was used, like I said, they had this valley dammed up and used water from it to pump with that engine up to the compressor station up the top of the hill. Well, while I was kind of cleaning things up, I noticed that there was a little pipe right here. Walk around over here to it. I'm not sure what exactly this was for, but there's a pipe there, and I think that pipe there that goes inside was the water inlet into the pump. So this here where we're standing would have all been underwater. And I also did see, I'm not really sure why, but they built a little blockade right here. Those are pieces of wood that was holding the earth back for some reason right here. So this here, I would say, was all water, probably up to pretty close, maybe a foot or so below the building. And I used it to pump up the compressor station, like I said, to not only cool the engine and the compressor, but to cool the gas before it got shipped off as well, I would assume. Why this building got left and the rest of it got tore down, I have no idea. But kind of has me intrigued. I'm going to try to do a little bit of research and go to the county office and look at some plat maps and see if I can see who used to own this land or what company it was, and try to get a little bit of history on this. Figure out when this was all erected and maybe get a little bit more information. So, yeah. Again, like I said, it's a 12-horse Patton Brothers engine, pumps on the side of it. And I was digging around. I found most of the tin for that back wall. It's in pretty sad shape, but had two pieces here. There was a door right here. This is the top piece for the door, kind of like over there. So I had a door right here and then another piece of tin there. It looked like Wolverine or somebody was here taking slashes out of that piece, but at least I got an idea how the end wall in this building was. Well, after about a 4-month hiatus, we're back on the Patton Brothers building. Took a nice little ADD break, I guess you could call it. But we're back. Got to figure out where I left off at here. I still need to get the walls down, obviously, and then get the engine pulled out. So hopefully that's one of them two things I'm going to get accomplished today. Got that stuff to take down, get the end wall off and the side walls off. I did bring lumber about 4 months ago down here so I can shore up these walls when I go to pick them, because I'm pretty sure the bottoms are all rotten off. So when I go to lift the walls, they won't sit there and wave in the wind. And then I get them off, I get to picking this thing out of here and then try to get it up that bank. I slid the old excavator down the hill. It's going to be fun getting it back out. May need a pull to get back out if it won't push itself out. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So today's a new day, and you know, I brought the old grapple truck out because everybody has a grapple truck to use. But I'm going to use it to get these panels up the hill, hopefully, without tearing them up. And then get the last remaining piece of the back off, and then get the engine pulled. Between the hoe and the grapple, should be able to do that. Other than I forgot a Sawzall to cut this pipe right here. So I'm going to have to go back and get it, but we'll see how the lifting of the walls go, how much I tear them up getting up out of here, and then get onto this. Got a little bit later start today than what I wanted, but that's how she goes. Well, I got the two walls up, and I'm starting to lose daylight again. It gets dark in this woods pretty quick. I got this all ready to pick, so I'm going to get it up and out. Hopefully I can get around this engine without tipping the hoe over. Get it up to where I can get it up to the grapple truck and pull it up the hill, and then come back tomorrow, hopefully in the morning, and get this thing lifted out and taken over where I can get it pulled out. And then, yeah, see if I can get that hoe up the hill. So, see how that goes. Probably won't record that because it's probably going to be a disaster. Well, I got the walls successfully up the hill. Still have all the little tin work to take up there, but I'll do that by hand. So I think we're to the point where I'm ready to pull the engine. I already got my lifting straps on here, and should be good to pick how I got them rigged. So I think what I'm going to do is get the excavator over here, dig this bank back so I can get as close as I can to the engine and not be sitting on a hill like this, and pick this thing off, set it down there, and then drag it over to where I'm going to pull it up that bank, track the excavator out, and then pull the engine up the hill, up to the top, and get it staged where I'll bring that grapple truck back and pick it and carry it home. This thing isn't super huge. I know that excavator will definitely pick it. I've picked bigger engines with it, so I'm not worried about lifting it. And somebody before me already got all the base bolts off, so it should be ready to go. It doesn't look like it's caulked in there, so it should be able to just lift right off. And as I was sitting here rigging everything, or standing here rigging everything, I noticed there was a little archaeological find here. It's part of an oiler. Glass is missing, but I'd say it's from that thing, so I will be taking that with me. Oh, look, there's another piece. That's a stem for an oiler. I get all this stuff cleaned up. I might bring a rake down here and see what else is missing. But enough chit-chatting. Let's get to picking. Well, she's hooked up. The hose dug in. Got my little landing pad right there, so I guess this is it. See if I can screw this up. All right, got the hoe repositioned. Let's go for attempt number 2. See if that'll get it. All right, third time's a charm, I guess. Got the excavator closer where we can lift a little bit with the main boom. Hopefully be able to lift up and get this thing up and off of the, about fell, up and off of this base. I'll feel a lot better after it's off the base, then I can do what I need to do. But yeah, there's a lot bigger pain in the butt than I thought it was going to be. That thing apparently weighs more than I think it does. All right. Holy moly, that was a fight. I got down to here where you could see, and then had no more lifty lift. So I had to get creative and lifted it from the rear, and I'm going to spin it, and then I'm just going to drag it the rest of the way. That sucker's got a lot of cast iron in it. So we're going to go for the old dragon game here. Well, we're on the home stretch. Got the hoe back out. Wasn't really that bad. I knew it wouldn't be. Wasn't down myself at all. But I gotta get the engine up, and I'm not going to take it that way. Crick there feels like it wouldn't just be a good idea. So I think what I'm going to do, I got enough room between these two trees. I'll get that thing spun facing this way, and I'm just going to drag it up the hill right here, and be able to roll it out to where I'm going to pick it up at. So. There you have it. That's how you pull an engine out of a valley. Got the walls there. I got a place where I can back the grapple truck up and load everything up, and then I got the rest of the small stuff down over the hill that I got to go get still, and I'll do that another day because I got to get the excavator to a job and get it dropped off today still. Then I'll have to come back and clean all my mess up here. So great success, very happy. Now get the thing re-erected and find some pieces and parts for the engine and get it going and running again. I forgot to tell you, when I was moving the engine out, I found a connecting rod laying over there. That's a connecting rod for the pump. So I might be in luck if that one was laying over there somewhere in here and underneath all this dirt. I might find the other one that goes to the actual engine. So I get to clean all this crap up. I want to come down here with pry bar or something and just start dragging it around, see if I find something metallic. Hopefully, if there's one, there's two. Fingers crossed. I'd say that was a good couple hours of work. Got the building sides all loaded up. The old pump jack kicked on. Seems kind of fitting, doesn't it? and got the engine loaded up. Obviously you can tell the sun's starting to set, so I'm gonna call it a day, take the walls home, come back and get this thing tomorrow when I got somebody to bring me over and drop me off, strap that all up, and then like I said, last stuff I'll be getting is all the little knick-knack stuff down there, and I'll update you if I find the other connecting rod. But yeah, not bad for a couple hours of work. So all in the search for that stuff. Man, I love this truck. So remember how I said I was going to come back and see if I could find the other connecting rod? Well, I've been down here shoveling this pile of dirt where I pushed some things around to fill this back up, where I dug that bank out, and cleaning up here. But I hit something. Well, disappointingly, looks like it's an old spud bar or something by the mushroomed end. So kind of disappointed. And then I got to digging some more, and I was making a scoop this way, and I hit something steel right there. So I'm pretty sure, by the looks of it here, that is probably the connecting rod. So, moment of truth. That is it. Well, I pretty much got a complete engine now, other than bearings, which I can have made because they're just made out of bronze or brass. So I got all I need now. I can get this thing running again. Well, I got the big stuff home. Still got a trailer load of the small stuff, but that'll be a job for tomorrow. But she's here, and she's going to go there. At least that's the plan. I got some railroad ties over there for the foundation. I'm going to replace, or maybe not so much replace, but cut and do some magic on the bottom of these rotted 2x4s to help with the walls here. But the building's going to go right on the other side of these two trees. I'm going to level this spot out a little bit more on what it is, and then have that engine and the building erected right here. So that'll be the plan. And I'm going to promise to get a video out a little bit quicker than every 4 months. So stay tuned, and hope you enjoyed what you did see, and you come back for the second half of this. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to get this all taken care of and building up and the engine in it here in the next month or so. So in the meantime, might see another video in between this, but yeah, wish me luck. Like I always say, until next time, go out and get your hands dirty.